Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alexander of InvestGlass, and it's a pleasure to have you today for this very special webinar we're going to do today around the topic of selling in crisis. I hope you're safe and that you wash hands and stay home. Unfortunately, this virus might take very long. As some of you might know, I have a very good relationship with friends in China, and they are expecting us very time soon to take the same types of measures that the types of measures they have also in China. That being said, I'm a very optimistic guy, but those times are a real challenge we're going to face, perhaps like our grandparents or grand-grandparents faced in the beginning of last century. And when things are getting catastrophic, I think we have to get prepared for the worst. Obviously, if things get better, then we'll have the joy to make it in a more partying and a more optimistic way. But for now, we're just seeing the crisis starting in the US. In Switzerland, we're just seeing the very beginning. So I would suggest to be very conservative in all the approaches we are going to have. I found that it would be interesting to talk about the forms and the survey. First, because we improved a lot the form and the survey system into InvestGlass, but also that I think that forms and surveys are a wonderful way to reduce costs, and reducing costs is going to be one of the most important part of your business, and this is how you're going to survive to the crisis. So let's dive into this presentation. So first, before we start, Alexandre Gaillard or InvestGlass SA are not legal advisors, and the content you're going to see is not representing any types of legal advice. So we recommend you to consult your own legal counsel to understand and comply your firm with regulations. InvestGlass is not an investment advisor, broker, or dealer, and therefore we do not participate in any type of offer, sales, distribution of security, nor do we provide any investment advice. That being said, COVID-19 is going to be a real crisis. We're going to live all together. You are not alone. And we're going to help you as much as we can with digital tools to make sure that you will find the way to engage with your prospects and customers the right way. Yeah, the idea here is very simple. The first idea is going to be how we can help you to reduce the cost. And to reduce the cost, reduce this, I would say, this running cost of your business, you have to digitalize as much as possible. So the first spot, let's start from here. First, invest in your prospect and customers. You have to ask more questions. How do they feel about this crisis? How can you help them? Perhaps there's something new you can do for them now. Perhaps they have not understood correctly what happened. Perhaps they don't understand why we inject that much money. What are they going to do? Are their investments safe? So first, I think the first thing that is important is to call your clients, engage with your prospect nicely. Don't do too much, but just call them, take news, and don't send emails like emails I've seen saying last week. We continue working from home. Yeah, that we all know that that's not true. I mean, working from home, everyone knows that we're going to be perhaps 50% or even less as effective as we used to be. So just make it be natural. Okay, call them, get news. Second, cut costs and digitalize as much as you can. Obviously, that's our business with InvestGlass, but it's the opportunity. I see most of you today in this webinar, you're clients of InvestGlass, you have the tools, so use it, leverage those tools, and we're going to show you how to do this with forms. Ask questions. Anticipate future objections with your clients. If you're selling funds, if you're selling consumer staples, if you're selling goods, ask questions. Try to collect as much as possible intelligence and data from your consumers, from your customers, to understand what are they expecting to buy, do with you in the coming month. then make sure you can get as much cash flow as possible to your business. I think this is absolutely important to stress that. And then find opportunities, because obviously we are entering into a doom time that might last 2, 4, 6 months. But there might be some opportunities that we have not seen, that you have not seen. And I think that's the right time, because we are bunkerized in our place, in our homes, to actually think and think differently. Now, InvestGlass has been built to help you create forms into existing tools. So as you might know, you can use forms inside InvestGlass. So that's what you see on the left with the blue icons, or you can put InvestGlass forms into your existing portfolio management systems or your own existing websites. When you're using forms, the forms are used for 3 types, I would say, of consumer or customer life cycle. The first part is lead nurturing, is how you collect information. You can collect information from face to face. So let's say that first one is dead now, or it can be hybrid. Hybrid means that you're going to send a digital form to your prospect or your client. This prospect or client is going to answer some of those information you need, and then you're going to finish it. And then the client or representative of the client can finish a bit, and then the contract is finalized. The hybrid is going to be very important, I think, with the COVID virus environment. And then you have the do-it-yourself, which is letting the clients onboard itself or answering questions by itself. This also is very good, but I would stress here that with this moment where emotions, where trust is becoming a very important topic, I would try to have as much as possible hybrid onboarding more than do it yourself, because you want to make sure that people feel that there's humans behind. All right, so brick and mortar, not possible anymore. Do it yourself, be careful. Hybrid, I think, will be the best. Then once you onboard a new prospect, you want to start an account opening. And with InvestGlass, we have now many different tools to facilitate all the steps from face recognition, digital signature, digital contract, and SMS signature. So basically, you can do the whole process without meeting the client face to face, or just having the contract being signed. And you don't need to have this, I would say, face-to-face interaction. You can use InvestGlass tools for the account opening. Then there's the automation of the CRM reviews, the KYC for the banking industry, CRM details for the rest. The idea here is that you have a CRM that you have in which you have some data, and you have to refresh this data. You have to refresh the data because the client nature is changing. The client has been changing addresses. The client has an anniversary, change job, get married. So this is what we call triggered events on the top. And on the bottom, you have recurring events. And obviously, the recurring events can change based on the nature of clients. So some clients' nature is high risk, and then the review needs to be done each year. Other are medium risk. So high risk will be a politically exposed person. Medium risk will be someone changing address. If you have like rumors on the internet or bad press, or someone with a dangerous or high risky business, then this is a medium risk. And the low risk will be someone that is not part of those two first policies. And then the recurring review will be different. So once you've done that, obviously, you start collecting data. This is how it looks like into InvestGlass, and we will give you some few ideas, few tips to how to build it together. Those slides will be shared with you at the end of this presentation. So first, I advise you to put always a question. I think starting with a question opens the mindset of the person that is going to answer to this form. This question can be very open and broad, or it can be very specific. Then I think it's important to set up your machine to make sure that you'll collect information into the client's language. For those that have been using InvestGlass for many years now, you know that InvestGlass was only in English. Now you can create your own fields in any languages, and you can customize your CRM details and KYC based on the type of information you wish to collect. So in France, people will be interested to collect information about loi carré, PEA, PEL. In the UK, it will be SIP. In the US, it's going to be 4.1. In Switzerland, it's going to be troisième pilier. So all those informations can be collected and you can customize InvestGlass. I invite you to look at this because this is going to be quite of a game changer for you to collect the right information from your audience. Then InvestGlass forms are now geared with logics. And this is very important because it will facilitate the way your customers are going to navigate through those forms. Here, for each answers, you can put a jump logic. So if I answer, no one called me and I'm not satisfied and the service was terrible, then the form is going to jump to the question, you're important, and page, you're important for us. Can we call you? Are you free? Do you have any preference? Can we call you this afternoon or tomorrow to see how we can explain you what happened with this crisis, how we can serve you better, all right? This is very good because the form, the jump logic will help you to jump from a bunch of questions that might not be relevant, and you don't want your clients to be bored with your questionnaires. You want to guide them. So this feature, jump logic, will be very helpful. Then InvestGlass forms and surveys are pre-filled with the CRM. So all the data that is collected into InvestGlass, when you share those forms with your customers, for example, you want to do a KYC review, the information will be already pre-filled from the CRM. This means that once the client changed the information will go back into the CRM, so you don't have any dual input. You're going to save a lot of time here, all right? And obviously, all those changes are audited, so you will know that it's you that first input the data, then your colleague or your compliance officer checked it, and then your customer, your client update it, and then your compliance officer reviewed it, all right? So each steps are into what we call the audit trail. To find the audit trail, go to My Account Company, and you'll find that everything is properly recorded. Then it's important at the end of your forms and surveys to select the redirection. So you have different options with the redirections. The first one is to select the client portal. So if you have a form nested inside the portal, then the client will be redirected inside the portal. You can decide to redirect into InvestGlass website. And you can also select and build your own customized link URL. This is very helpful if you have, for example, I would say documentations, brochures that you want to direct a client to a page where you have a specific download page, or if you wish, for example, to direct a client into a specific application within InvestGlass. So this can be completely customizable into the forms and the surveys. Also, a big new improvements is it's around the colors and the background. So you can now completely customize InvestGlass forms to respect your own branding. I think it's very important also to use those colors to share emotions and just not to have, as we see previously, a white, boring questionnaire. Here you can change the images. I suggest you to have a look at Unsplash. Unsplash.com is a website where you can download royalty-free pictures, high definition, and those pictures will help you to convey a message, a storytelling around the questionnaires you're sharing with your customers. Another suggestion is to sprinkle some emojis. So you know the emojis are those little icons you find on your telephones, your smileys, and all those stuff like that. I think it's quite nice to have those emojis, partly in those times where people moral can be quite low. I suggest you sometimes to put some emojis. It's also an easier way to actually read a message to have a little emoji. Don't put too many emojis, okay? One emoji is good. 2 emojis is already too much. And I think the emoji could be either at the beginning or the end. You can also put emojis at the middle of a question, but again, then it starts to be more of a game than conveying an emotion, all right? So emojis at the beginning or the end, I think is quite good. Now, for the connections with the different forums, it's also possible to use InvestGlass with third-party APIs. So third-party APIs will help you to do 2 things. First, it will facilitate the acquisition of information if you have high volumes of prospects or clients, which I hope you will, even if the times are difficult. We are working with these different types of solutions that will help you build digital banks. So the Revolut or the N26 solutions run on solutions that we are actually working with. So on Fido, ID Now, Credas, Connective, Yoti, DocuSign, Syniantis, Swisscom solutions are solutions we connect directly into the forms and the surveys. And the reason for that is first to automate the acquisition, okay, sometimes to recognize a passport, recognize an address, but it's also very important if you're dealing with data protection. Obviously, each country is protecting its nationals' ID cards. So if you're using InvestGlass in the UK, for example, you want to make sure that the customer identifiable data will be respecting the UK regulation. So then we'll use solutions like Onfido, for example, and Onfido will store the ID card that is the CID of your customer. If you have any doubts or questions about that, please let us know. We are happy to help you and share with you solutions with the API solution. So that being said, you are not alone. InvestGlass is moving very fast to help you digitalize the process as much as possible. So if you have any questions, please contact us at contact@investglass.com. And we wish you good luck in this very difficult times, but you're not alone. And with InvestGlass Solutions, we hope we'll help you. Have a lovely day and speak to you soon. Thank you.